Okay, so I thought this would be a good time to talk about it while I'm on the road. And this is what I'm going to talk about. So I'm on my way. It's Monday night. I'm on my way to a Bible study with a couple of other men. And I want to talk about some priorities. See, because I firmly believe that we as people, we do exactly what we want to do, but most of the time we say, well, I just didn't have time to do that. Those kind of things is what I'm talking about. And I've used the analogy, and it's not an analogy, but I've used the example of me working out, me training, lifting weights. I never miss a day of lifting weights. And if for some reason I have to miss a day, I will move that training day to an off day. And I will make up for it because that is what I want to do. I want to train. I want to lift weights. What I have struggled with the past, I'm going to say couple years, is why I want to do something. So 2 years ago I got into jiu-jitsu, and I've made that a priority at least twice a week. I've been doing that for 2 years, and so that has become a priority. But even like tonight, so tonight I could have went to jiu-jitsu, but I chose to go to this Bible study. For one, because this Bible study is more important. Jiu-jitsu is important. The reason that I'm kind of using jiu-jitsu is important. It's to try and be a better example. For one, for my kids, try to be a better servant of Christ. I'm trying to use all of these things, the Bible study, the training, jiu-jitsu, all of these different things that people get so focused on. People will get into, say, lifting weights, or they'll get into jiu-jitsu, and they will just solely focus on that one thing because maybe their goal is to win a competition. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I've had that very goal in my life. But as I've drawn closer and read my Bible more and have tried to live closer to God throughout my journey of trying to walk with Him, I've realized that end goal is not a good end goal. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with competing and using that as an avenue to get to the end goal, which my end goal is to ultimately be more Christ-like. And I see how I can use training, jiu-jitsu, obviously Bible study, but it's about keeping those things in perspective and in the right priority. I have found that to be very hard to do, keeping like I've got a competitive nature, especially when it comes to strongman, but even just doing jiu-jitsu, I haven't competed in it. For one, my goal when I got into jiu-jitsu wasn't to compete. I was already competing in strongman. But even in jiu-jitsu, I'm out there on the mat sometimes competing, and I've thought about competing in it. But I have to ask myself why I want to compete in it. And a lot of the times it's for me, for prideful reasons. And I don't think that in itself is a good thing. It's very hard to keep that kind of stuff suppressed, dying to the flesh. So it's hard to balance competing and living for Christ and trying to keep everything in the right perspective. Now, I don't know if any of that I just said makes sense, but if you've competed, you know what the goal is. The goal is to win. And if you've ever been semi-successful or very successful at anything, you probably found out at the end of it, there's got to be more to this. Like, I achieved my goal, I won, but you're still not fulfilled, right? And it just goes back to that stuff does not fulfill you. That stuff can be a means to the end, but that can't be the end, if that makes sense. You can use those. Those things can be tools, but if that's the end, you're constantly going to be chasing, the next competition or the next big thing, and it's never going to fulfill.